Hi everyone, my name is Kate Ann Rowe, also known as Not So Typically Kate over on my YouTube channel. Today I want to say a very big happy International Women's Day to you all, and I hope you have a fabulous day. So today I want to talk a little bit about bias and bias towards disabled women, autistic women, and I want to talk a little bit about my own experiences and also what I feel people can do to move past biases, whether they're unconscious or conscious, towards women, autistic women, disabled women. So I'm going to get into talking about my own experiences. When I started thinking about this topic, something that stuck out in my mind that I experienced was to do with being autistic, being an autistic woman. I'm sure a lot of you out there know that autistic women are very good at masking. This was something I did growing up, and I think it's part of the reason why I wasn't diagnosed until I was 17 with autism spectrum disorder. So when it came to my diagnosis and when I got my official diagnosis and I was handed the envelope, the psychologist said to me and to my mother, put that envelope away, put it in the drawer, forget about your diagnosis and only use it if you really have to. Now that's something that sticks out to me to this day because for a number of reasons. First of all, I kind of thought, oh, I was quite taken aback. I thought, so is this something that's really bad? Is this something I should be ashamed of, that I shouldn't tell people? Secondly, I thought, okay, so I should only keep it if I need to use it, as if it was not part of my identity. And then I thought, well, she must be saying this because I have masked so well, and because as an autistic woman, I have masked up to the age of 17. So kind of like I can continue to do that. I feel like had it been a boy or a man who didn't mask the way a woman could, then that probably would not have been said to them. And I know from my experience, there were no real supports. I didn't really get any supports after I was diagnosed. That was what was said, and that was kind of it really. And for a long time after that, I didn't share my diagnosis with people. It left me feeling like, should I have a sense of shame about this? Is this a bad thing? And I suppose it was through reading other people's stories that I kind of thought, okay, this is not something to be ashamed of. This is part of my identity. It's who I am. And just because I can mask very well doesn't mean that I still don't need supports. And I feel like that was a damaging thing for somebody to say. And I do feel like in hindsight it was because I was a woman, a young woman, who could mask the way I could mask. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has experienced this, whether it be in the healthcare system, education system, employment. And when I think a bit about moving forward, that it was a long time before I shared that diagnosis. It was only in the last year I started sharing it with close friends. And then it was the beginning of this year that I set up my own YouTube channel, which I was really excited about, a little bit nervous about, but I had nothing but positive feedback. And I thought, okay, people are being really nice here. This mustn't be something that's bad. And I think when I think about education, healthcare, work, so like employers, I think that the biggest thing and the most important thing for disabled women, for autistic women, is for people to educate themselves a little bit, get familiar with the terminology around autism. You know, there's no reason why we can't go to college and complete a course like anybody else or work like anybody else, but we might just need extra supports. And that may come in the form of having to have extra time during an exam. That might come in the form of being able to move around in an office if that's where you work. But we can do exactly what everybody else can do. Just sometimes we need a little bit of extra support, or we need to do it in a slightly different way. But that, when I was thinking about this topic and thinking about International Women's Day, that was the story that stuck out to me, and that was something I wanted to talk about. I don't know, perhaps other people have had similar experiences, and I've probably had experiences perhaps in the healthcare system, perhaps in the education system, in work, in everything like that. Just my experience. I hope that you might have been able to relate to this video, that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that people out there who are neurotypical can think a little bit about what I've said in this video and perhaps just educate themselves a bit on autistic women, on disabled women, and what we can do and what we can achieve, but sometimes we just need an extra little bit of support. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I wanted to say a really big happy International Women's Day to you all. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye. Thank you.